Good afternoon, Rat Rod Bikes. This is Odd Job reporting from the back 40. Well, I've got some ideas percolating for the Quasimodo bike. I almost said beer delivery bike. But haven't actualized any of those ideas yet. You can hear the bottles rattling around. So one of the things I do want to transport this guy, and I've got to figure out how to keep these from rattling and bobbing and weaving while I'm on the bike. Thinking about just some wood slats that would sit down in between and, take away that rattle. Just a little bit of pressure. One of my friends that I got started on the interest in our sport, our hobby, our pastime, was just over here. His name's Matt. We actually share the same last name, but we're not related. Anyway, Matt had an idea. He said, why don't you get some balsa wood, because it's, it compresses. And you could throw down your Ratina technique on it, and then just put little slats in between the bottles in the case. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. And the other reason Matt came by is a couple years ago he was here. He lives across the metro area, probably a solid 30-minute drive from here. He came over and he checked out the confines of the back 40 and real interested in what was going on here. And he grabs up old rusty parts and he makes robots out of them. That's his thing. But he goes, Lee, I'd like to try my hand at one of these rat rod bike type things. And hanging up here where those old fluorescent light tubes are right now, I still have yet to recycle those, was a frame that I had used in an MBBO, a mountain bike build-off. It was a Columbia red frame, and I used the 4-speed Shimano hub. It was called Foregone Conclusion. And fun little build. And I'll post a photo after the video here of what that bike looked like. Anyway, I just had the frame left over because I'd used the hub on another build, and I'd used the front wheel on another build and the bars on something else. So I sold him the frame with the crank set and the original old Columbia fork, which was this one right here. Nice straight little fork. When I bought this bike, it had 24-inch crappy old wheels on it, but a 26 wheel fits in that. So I'm not exactly sure if they tried to make the bike smaller for some reason or whatever. But this week Matt called me and he goes, Lee, I got to make room in my garage. I'm building a camper, and I don't ride that bike I built. I'm going to bring it back to you and let's see where it goes in its next life. So Matt brought this to me this afternoon. And this is what he did with this Columbia frame. Pardon me. He stripped it down. I had purchased a new head badge on eBay. Just used adhesive, so he was able to peel it off and then reapply it. He put this kind of Schwinn Springer style fork on. It's nice BMX Black Ops stem and these really cool bars. SE racing bars. They're kind of a clunker BMX style. They're wider than your regular BMX bars, but it has this BMX, bar across the front where you could put a number in there if you wanted to. And then he checker gripped some nice ODI grips there. Did a little work on, replaced the tires. Then he thought, well, that's the original chain guard to the Columbia frame. And he put on some fenders and did kind of a cool job on it, I thought. These are old window cranks from a Buick, like 40s Buick. Kind of cool. And a repop polo seat that he works at one of our other stores over across town. So has access to the same vendors that I did for my bikes. And he stripped the red paint off. And he did a great job on it. I mean, this was his first attempt at a lot of this stuff. So he even uncovered a neat little brazing in spots. And so that's kind of cool too. He didn't swap out the chainring, so I can tell he didn't ride it much because the ratios. He's got a huge cog in the back. It's got to be a 24 or 25 cog, and this thing in front is only like 37. So unless you're climbing a really hard hill, you can't get the bike going hardly. But he said, I'm not riding it. I need the space in the garage, and I'm going to bring it back to you. So I guess the summary of this is what goes around comes around, right? I gave him the frame and fork and stuff to work with, crank. I go, here, take this, make your first rat rod bike, have fun. And let's just see what happens. And now it's back here in the back 40 on the back porch. So anyway, that was today's surprise. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. If I don't do anything with it, it will be available. I'm telling you, those bars would be cool on a clunker. Or your, what do you call it, strandy style bikes. Those polo seats are awesome. I've got them on a couple of mine that I built. The frame is very conducive for a muscle bike style build. Anyway, I haven't decided, but we do have the fall build-off coming up after this one, and I may be popping some of these up on the old classified list on RRB. Well, that's what's going on in the back 40 this afternoon. We have hit summer here. It's 82 degrees and high humidity. We got a storm, yes, another storm moving in this afternoon. So that's supposed to break the humidity, though, for the rest of the week. Looking forward to it. Hope you're having a good one. This is Odd Job signing off from the back 40. Right on.